Welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. For updates on sports stories across the globe, Aaron Akerijola joins us. Good morning, Aaron.
Yeah, good morning to you, Ayo. Good morning to you, Doctor. Good morning to you, Rufai. Everyone has been holding their breaths to find out where Nigeria will be placed at the upcoming Nations Cup in Ivory Coast, or Côte d'Ivoire, some would like to call it. And yesterday, their wishes were granted, and as it stood, and as it will be going into that particular Mondial, which will be kicking off on the 13th of January to the 11th of February, let's talk about the fact that at the moment, the Super Eagles, first of all, let's talk about the Super Eagles will be housed in Group A alongside host Ivory Coast, and not forgetting Equatorial Guinea and Guinea-Bissau. So we'll be having the Guinea nations go against the Super Eagles, and as it stands right now, a lot is expected from the Super Eagles, and the draw was quite colorful, the draw was quite enterprising, the draw was quite great, and I must actually say kudos to the organizers there. But as it stands, it's well balanced, because there's no really, we can't really say that there's any group of that at the moment, but the Super Eagles will have to overcome the host if they are to top that particular group, the Elephants of Ivory Coast. Away from that, let's talk about the fact that as the Super Eagles were finding out their fate, the Nigeria Football Federation decided to launch a campaign, and the campaign is to bring back this particular trophy. We know we've won the Holy Grail, the Mondial, 3 times, and as it stands right now, let's talk about the fact that the Super Eagles campaign is up and running, and they're calling it Let's Do It Again. The Nigeria Football Federation have decided that this time around, with the prophecy being spoken by Jose Peseiro, who is very, very bullish about the fact that they can actually win this particular Nations Cup, talking about the 2024 edition. He says that, so the Nigeria Football Federation have actually launched it. So
2023 actually.
Yeah, okay.
2023 edition.
Chairman Christo Chukwu back in 1980, doing us the honors there. Then Stephen Okechukwu Keshi, of course, they call him the big boss, also lifting it in 1994. And not forgetting Mikel Obi and the gang who did it in 2013 in South Africa against all odds. And this time around, let's see if 11 years later, the Super Eagles...
2023, then it's 10 years later.
No, so this year makes it 10 years.
Yes.
But by the time the trophy, by the time the competition comes in 2024, it will be 11 years. So let's see if in 11 years later, the Super Eagles can deliver. But first of all, they would have to overcome a very, very bullish Elephants of Ivory Coast, the host of the particular team, at the Ouattara Alassane Stadium in Abidjan. So speaking about, but before I talk about the stadium quickly, let's talk about the fact that the Super Eagles do have a game today in Portimao, talking about Stade Municipal Portimao, as they will be hosting Saudi Arabia. The coach, talking about Jose Peseiro, will be looking for his first friendly win. And also, the coach of the Green Falcons also will be looking for his first friendly win. Roberto Mancini has been drafted in to probably raise the stakes of the Green Falcons of Saudi Arabia. They're yet to win. They've lost 2 games under his belt. They'll be hoping that this time around they can get the scalp of the Super Eagles. I doubt if that would actually happen, because we've got a flurry of talents to actually pull from. Okay, quickly speaking about the fact that the Super Eagles will be playing in at the Ouattara Alassane Stadium in Abidjan. A lot is expected from the Super Eagles, and they'll be hoping to have a friendly outing in that particular stadium. Stadiums have been built across Ivory Coast for this particular Mondial, and we are hoping that this is Nigerians' time. Away from that, let's talk.
Stunning.
Yes, stunning stadium, I must actually say.
Is it prophetic that it's in green? So I just want to say that. It means that we're taking it home there.
Okay, let's talk about Benny Eccleston. Benny Eccleston is in the eye of the storm, and he has pleaded guilty, and he will serve a suspended 2-year sentence for fraud, and also setting up a trust in Singapore to the tune of about 400 million for his daughters, 400 million pounds for his daughter. So
Tamara.
Okay, so the 92-year-old former Formula One Supremo pled guilty. So what would have been a prolonged court case has actually been shrunk down. So now one thing is certain, is going to pay quite a lot back to the coffers in the United Kingdom, well over 600 million pounds. Of course, talking about his tax evasions and several other things that he's actually owing the government. And let's talk about Daniel Sturridge, a very strange case. So Daniel Sturridge in 2019 lost his dog, Lucci. And he actually said to anyone in Los Angeles that if you can find my dog, I will give you $30,000. And as we speak right now, the police in Los Angeles have actually said he's actually a wanted man right now. That he should turn himself in because he has failed to deliver on the promise of giving the man that found the dog $30,000. Okay? Yeah, you have. Yes, you must pay that money because they said that. Because I think it was a particular rapper that actually found the dog.
Was he not planning for anyone to find the dog?
I have no idea because he was all emotional when the dog got missing and the rest of them. And quickly, for time constraint, let's talk about Nigerian athletes Divine Oduduru. And at the moment, he is the latest in a long line of athletes that have been banned. He's been banned for 6 years. The 27-year-old was on provisional suspension in February. And finally, linking the case of Blessing Okagbare, who is 11 years, Eric Lira, who is 10 years in jail. Right, Divine Oduduru has been given a ban of 6 years.
Oh my God.
So by the time he comes back, his career is likely going to be over because he'll be give or take 35.
Aaron, oh my God, this is sad. I never expected this.
Yes, that is a famous I never expected it guy, yeah.
This is sad. This is sad for our athletes. Very bright star, you know. I never expected this for Divine at all. But in all of this, Aaron, the question I keep asking, what is the Athletics Federation of Nigeria doing, you know, as regards advisory for all of these athletes? Why do we keep getting slammed? Remember the case of Blessing Okagbare? It was the constant refrain that nobody stood up for Blessing Okagbare. Even Toby Amushon, she's had to push by herself in all of this. What is the EFN doing in all of this?
No, but
in all fairness, Aaron, since the days of Dan Ungerem, I have never really seen that robust leadership in the EFN again. I might be wrong.
You might have a point there, but their destinies are in their hands. As athletes, you should know better.
And it's Nigeria. That's why we can also stand up for them, because when they win laurels, they win it for Nigeria. Yes. They don't win it as stateless people. And that's why I beg to repeat, you might correct me, I might be wrong, since the days again of Dan Ungerem, the AFN, I've not really seen a level of leadership that really excites me. I might be wrong on this. That's why you are the expert, you can correct me. But it's sad that we keep having all of this over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. I totally agree. You know, we talked about the issue, I think it was Toby Amusan when it happened, that if you'd seen the way other federations had supported their own, whether football, athletics, we don't speak up enough for our people. And that's why I was quite excited when you talked about our African Nations campaign, where the NFF is coming out, massively supporting, and they're saying, and I was doing the money sign to you, that I hope they'll put the money where their mouth is.
Yeah,
so in terms of provisions, and that we wouldn't hear issues around allowances being paid, withholding, or...
I don't think that will be the case this time around, because they met with the Minister of Sports yesterday, and the Minister has assured them that everything that will be needed, including funds, will be released on time.
Is this the first time they're being assured?
Okay, we are hoping that new dispensation will deliver.
But this minister, I have to say, is giving the right signals.
Okay.
But we're putting it out there that beyond this big media campaign to say that, this is our year to win it, perhaps this is a golden moment, let them actually motivate the players appropriately. Let them ensure that they have, their training facilities, timing, respected, no owing of allowances and salaries. And as we're doing that, let's also do the same for our women as well.
You must always put that in.
Okay. Yeah. Some other news. The International Olympics Committee has banned the Russian Olympics Committee.
Yes, they have.
From the IOC, for the simple reason that the Russian Olympics Committee has taken over about 4 regions from Ukraine, including Donetsk and other places, and one Zaporizhzhia, and 2 others. So I think that's a major development. And this is again an illustration of how politics and sports, seem to intersect. Number 2, Wayne Rooney is coming back home to become the manager of Birmingham City in the championship.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he was there before with what team was that? He was managing a team.
No, he wasn't United.
Was he United?
Yeah, DC United before he
DC United?
Yeah, in the United
States.
He
was with Derby.
Yeah, Derby County.
Yeah, Derby was relegated. Even with United, he didn't do too well. So he's coming back now to Birmingham City.
It's a big gamble.
Where Tom Brady, has interest. He bought into it. Although the major issue is about Sunak now stopping that HS2 fast rail line from London to the West Midlands. But will he do well as a coach?
Big gamble.
He took coaching course, but he did better as a player. Superstar at Manchester.
Of course, he got that job on the reputation of being a super player, not a super
Champions
coach.
League, all of that. Okay, Ecclestone, who now has to pay £685 million for not disclosing a £485 million pounds. It's about taxation. I once co-edited a book on taxation. The book is out there. I don't know how they are selling it, whatever. But what it means is that, look, in some countries, you can't evade tax.
No.
Tax evasion is a crime.
Because this actually stretches 80 years backwards. He has not paid for it.
Since 2015.
Yeah.
So this is...
No, that's it. They're actually looking at it 80 years backward. Of course, this issue actually came to light.
The case started 2015.
No, so the one in Singapore now, because he was asked in 2015 in that, do you have any other trust aside the ones you're declaring right now? And he says no. And they actually decided to dig into it, and they found out that in the 2015 deposition that he actually had a trust set up in Singapore, and that's the one that they actually given the bullet for. But he's been evading tax for about 18 years, which culminates to that over 600 million pounds.
What am I trying to say? It's just to remind people that tax evasion is a crime.
Yes, it is.
And in some other jurisdictions, it's taken seriously.
It's unforgivable.
What lawyers will tell you is that tax avoidance is not a crime if you can avoid it. But if you evade tax, then you are a criminal. How many people here in Nigeria, big men, big women, who evade tax and they get away with it? So that's a big lesson to learn from that. As for AFCON, yes, Equatorial Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Pesero has been boasting that we are waiting for the elephants of Cote d'Ivoire. Okay, will he be able to beat the elephants of Cote d'Ivoire?
If you'd ask me, I'll say yes.
Well,
but today we'll give a glimpse. Today we'll give an inkling into what he can actually do, because he's going against Mancini and Saudi Arabia, and they'll be hoping that they can actually get a massive win, the first in a very long time in a friendly game.
I agree with you that we have the talent, but it's not about boasting. Do it. Bring the cup back.
I've seen it happen. Sao Tome, doctor, you might have actually shoved it aside or probably taken it lightly. Sao Tome were hammered 16-0 across two games.
No, 6-0, not 16.
16-0 across two games.
Oh, really?
Yes, we did.
By the Super Eagles?
Yes, by the Super
Eagles. Okay, let them go and
Eagles.
try it with Cote d'Ivoire. Thank you very much.
Always a pleasure.